All right, I think I'm live. Hello to those of you in chat. Are you guys able to hear me all right? Okay, cool. Looks like it's working. Let me know if the volume is a little bit too high or low, and I can change my mic settings. Got about 7 people watching. It's pretty cool. We did a live stream, I think, last night or maybe the night before with Gate Nerd. That was our first live stream on the channel. Went really well. If you haven't seen it, go to our. I mean, you're already here on our YouTube channel, so go ahead and look for the VOD. It was pretty cool. So audio up. All right, let me see if I can figure that out. I have never streamed on YouTube before. I've streamed on Twitch using different software, so this is sort of learning experience for me. Let me figure out how I can up my output. Yeah, just bear with me. This is new territory for me. But I plan to be live for at least an hour or two. And put something on the screen just so you guys can see that I'm in fact alive. I'm always afraid that my mic is actually going to be too sensitive and pick me up, uh, pick up my breathing. Let's see. Maybe advanced audio properties. All right, I put it up, I think, 1 more decibel. Is this a little bit better? I'll start drawing in a few seconds, or a few minutes, I guess. I just want to make sure that the audio is working all right. All right, I increased it by 2 decibels. Sounds good? Okay, cool. So my mic is actually to the left of my computer screens, and I have on my left screen my actual. I have Photoshop open, and on my right screen I have live chat and other things. So sometimes I'm not really facing the mic when I'm looking at what you guys are typing in chat. Yeah, true. This technically isn't a ball, but we're gonna promulgate new rules in the subreddit starting next week that all balls have to look exactly like this. So we can make Poland, you know? See if I can pull one of my old comics up onto the screen. Then I normally, when I'm making a comic, I normally take one of my old comics that has some of the other characters, or some of the characters I'm going to use in the new comic, so I can just use the eyedropper tool to uh, get the correct flag colors. I don't. I know a lot of other artists like Gate Nerd and Aaron put the actual flag on their screen, but I don't like doing that just because it's an extra step. You know, I've got a huge folder with all my comics in it from way back when. Let's see. Draw North Korea with a nuke. You know, I don't think I've made many comics, if any, with North Korea. That's probably a good idea. Um, yeah, well, let's start with that. So the last live stream on this channel was sort of just a communal drawing. So feel free to put whatever you want in the chat, and I'll draw it to the best of my ability. You know, obviously can't be like super out there. All right, North Korea with a nuke. 1 second. Find the right flag. Kingdom of Two Sicilies in the Sistine Chapel. Probably a little bit too much detail for a first stream. Let's see. All right. North Korean flag. DPRK. First thing we got to do is draw a ball. Unironically, I think the hardest part of drawing any pole and ball comic is drawing a good ball, a nice and smooth ball. That's okay. It's a little top heavy. I don't like when they're top heavy. Nah, this is no good. A little too rough. Okay, this is workable. I think the best balls are when they look sort of squished on top and bottom, and a little bit straighter on the left or on the sides. So I think this is good. Let's do the eyes. Let's make him happy. It's an uncommon emotion, I imagine, in North Korea. So for comedic effect, let's do it. Let's just do two eyes like that. Brazil in a soccer shape. All right, let's see. Not gonna lie, the North Korean flag is not a terribly designed flag. There's a lot of bad flags out there. I don't think this is one of them. Sort of like mid to higher tier. All right, so I like drawing the, whoops, what is going on? Oh, okay. I like drawing sort of behind the ball. The right color red. How did the first pole and ball video blow up? I think the very first video or the second video was the one Poland cannot into oil, which is my favorite pole and ball comic of all time. It was an animation. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's great. I think it's just very classic pole and ball. It's exactly what the medium is supposed to be about. And you know, the pole and ball subreddit has been around for over a decade. The medium has been around for even longer, so people know what it is. The term country ball has become a little bit more mainstream. I don't like using that term because that's not what it is to me. I found out about pole and ball when it was pole and ball. But I get that language evolves. But I Don't call it country balls. All right, let's try this. Hide the eyes for a second. That is not a bad North Korea. Whoops. Wait, what am I doing wrong? There we go. Let's have him holding the nuke above his head. Actually, don't like those eyes. I'm probably going to fix those. Hi, Marshy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm drawing on a desktop computer, but I do have a laptop. But I don't like using laptops for basically anything. They're just very cumbersome. All right, let's draw a bomb. Zoom out a little bit, get a better feel for the scale. Try to figure out how exactly I want to draw this. Why is it Poland? Why did they choose? I assume you're asking why it's called Poland ball. I think the origin of the medium goes back to a God, what's the guy's name? I think the guy's name was Falco, and he's posting on Crouchan, and he made a comic to annoy a Polish user on one of those boards. You know how Poland in the medium is sort of the lovable idiot. You know, Poland's the main character of Poland Ball, so it's called Poland Ball in Poland's honor. Let's see. I don't. I really don't know how I want to draw this bomb. Let's see. What kind of fin should it have? All right. Let's just knock it out. Something like this. Put the radiological symbol on it. Some kind of yellow, right? Let's put a stripe near the top. Move this back a bit. Draw a line behind the bomb. Give it a little bit of depth, you know? And let's go with like a darkish gray. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit lighter. Let's put one more fin, I think, in the middle of the tail. Oops. I want to do this. Let me pull this back a bit. I don't know. You know what? No, we can fix that later if we really want to. Do some shading at some point. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat. It was one of the things I was always bad at streaming on Twitch was I would get really into whatever I was doing and then ignore chat, but we very much want this to be a collaborative thing. All right. Said I was gonna fix the eyes. Let's fix the eyes. Should we make them evil? Yeah, let's make them. Something like that. I think that looks better. Draw Chicago. So this is going to be a controversial take, maybe, but I really don't like state ball. I don't like, just personally, I don't like state ball. I don't like drawing minor characters like cities, states, subnational divisions. I can't be bothered with it. I think Poland ball is best when it's international relations. All right. I like putting the eyes a little bit lower on the ball. I think it makes them look cuter. Like you could put it up really high, but then it just looks weird to me. It's something like this. Okay. With the bomb. All right, there's our North Korea and our very rudimentary nuclear bomb. Alaska does have a great flag. Yeah, big forehead. Big foreheads are cute. Draw Japan in a mech suit. Uh, that's a little involved. Kazakh SSR brick above Kazakhstan. Let's see. South Korea next to it. Okay, yeah. Let's have them fight over something. I like that. What could North Korea and South Korea possibly disagree on? There's no way of knowing. Get the South Korean flag. South Korea has a gorgeous flag. It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna take off my headset. I don't have any audio incoming, so there's no point. USA ball with a gun and a burger. That's every comic with America in it. All right, yeah. All right, we'll draw South Korea, and then we'll put a dividing line between them. The DMZ. So let me just DPRK. Let's do background. Nuke. Just try and keep this tidy. ROK. Making sure your balls are equal size is pretty hard too. Make sure you check your balls. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me better now? Maybe it's not using my desktop mic. It's echoey. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay. It's using my headset mic instead of my desktop mic. Let me see if I can fix that. Is anyone familiar with OBS? Settings, output. Yeah, it's using my headset's microphone, but I have a desktop mic which is much better quality. I want to use that. Let's see. Oh, let's draw a little bit more. If it's working, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna mess with it. Whoops. Okay. I have done very few comics with South Korea. Either Korea, to be honest. It's a Pepsi flag. Gotta make these lines a little thicker. Thick with two C's. Oops. Erase this part right here. Move it one. Poland Ball is currently drawing a comic. We're drawing South Korea and North Korea fighting over something. So Chad needs to figure out what they're fighting over. Which Korea is best? Korea's not real, man. It's 2024. It's like believing in Santa Claus. All right, should South Korea be upset, shocked? What kind of expression do we want to give it? Yeah, I have a pretty loud keyboard. Make them argue over military. They fight about who ruled over the Korean Peninsula. Should be fighting over waifus. I mean, that's just life, man. Shocked? Okay. I have um, a, a great image from God, maybe like 10 or 12 years ago. I'm gonna put it on the screen for you guys to see. This is from I don't know where I got it, but this was a great like tutorial or examples of how to show emotion in your balls. So this is good scare. That's what I was gonna do. You put the lines on the side right here. Let's do that. What's my opinion about country balls and YouTube shorts? Poland balls. I like the YouTube Shorts format. I'm not big on TikTok. That's probably underselling it. I don't use TikTok at all. I get that I get that short form videos are pretty popular. I like YouTube Shorts for what they are, but I really like long form videos more. And one of the things Gaitner talked about in his stream last night was sometimes when you're drawing eyes, it's easier to put them in a different color instead of just black to make it easier to see as you're working on it. Move this eye a little bit more to the right. Whoops. And then, so here's an issue we're running into, right? You have these markings on the Korean flag, the South Korean flag. If I put those like stress lines around the eyes, it kind of looks like it's part of the flag, right? It's a little confusing. Draw eyes first and flag colors later. So you don't have to put details in there that could obscure anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's go with this for now. Um, okay. Should South Korea be holding anything? I think the question is more geared toward the cringe content on YouTube Shorts. Cringe content. I don't really like watching cringe stuff. It's awkward. You know, I don't like the feeling that it elicits. What's my opinion on country ball history animation? Hey, I'm all for it. I think my personal YouTube feed looks a lot like geopolitics and history and stuff like that. I'm currently making the balls of the UK, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Ireland on Ibis Paint. I don't know what Ibis Paint is, but God bless you for drawing all those flags. The Union Jack is one of my least favorite flags to draw. It's a pain in the ass. Samsung phone. Oh, I like that. Okay. South Korea holding a Samsung phone. Maybe a TV, because that'll be bigger than just a phone. We'll do a phone. LG TV. My very first cell phone I got when I was 13, 12 or 13, and it was an LG phone. It was a flip phone. To this day, my favorite cell phone I've ever had. This is way before we had smartphones. Let's see, so this is ROK. This has to be a little bit lighter. Is that obvious? I don't know. That's not a great phone. Just write Samsung on it. Not the best phone, but then again, it's a Samsung. I have a Google Pixel. This is not an ad. Should he be calling someone on the phone? No one uses phones to call people anymore. All right. South Korea hold USA emergency button. I guess that's, yeah, you could be calling US. State Balls is literally just the story of Undertale of Poland Ball. It's the it's like the forgotten stepchild of Poland Ball, but there's a lot of different subreddits that are associated with Poland Ball that are just smaller by virtue of them being offshoots, right? They're spin-offs. Ibis Paint is like an Android version of Procreate. I don't know what Procreate is, so that doesn't help. What happened to my old phone? My LG phone, I think it went through the wash and it died. Got an iPhone 12. Please draw Chile going to the vet. Why to the vet? Here, let's put some text. Calibri. Let's do some shading here. Make it look a little fancy. If you're familiar with Dick Rhino's comics, the way he shades is he goes up like 3/4 on one side of the ball and then most of the bottom, and then the shadow underneath. I typically just do the bottom of the ball itself, but I have emulated his shading on many occasions. I'll just do it again. Not shading, but one of the things that a lot of artists in every medium do is they're inspired by their contemporaries to do things in certain ways. And there have been a lot of artists over the years that I have taken ideas from. Let's see. This will be actually interesting to do the bomb. Whoops. There's a hole somewhere in this. Okay, there it is. It's near the top. And let's change this to 35%. All right. This is an overdone concept. Yes, you're not wrong, but they're still at war with each other, so maybe you can tell Kim Jong Un and the South Korean government, whose president I cannot remember, that we need new content. Draw Poland. Why was the Poland ball name changed into country ball? That is a good question. Um, I don't know. I don't know exactly why. Um, but I think country ball is a more generic term. Yeah, pole ball sounds better. I think country ball is a very rough or abrasive term. What's my take on Mr. Spherical? I don't know who that is. Sorry. Can I request Sri Lanka? I may have to draw it for comic, and to be honest, I don't want to come up with those lines myself. All right. I don't know what the Sri Lankan flag looks like off the top of my head. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the one with the little lion or whatever. Um, let's draw Poland, and then we'll draw Sri Lanka. So figure out a way to get Sri Lanka to make sense with some kind of narrative with Poland. Indonesia ball with a small volcano going to heat because the election season is getting hot. That's how I learned that Indonesia has elections this year. 2024, February 14th. To elect president, vice president, People's Consultative Assembly. Country humans equals Poland humans. Sri Lanka is one of my favorite flags of modern countries. It's creative. I'll give it that. Let me see if I can get the flag real quick. The flag of Nepal is one of my favorite flags, but it is pain in the ass to draw. All right, Sri Lanka. Let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna try switching my microphone. All right. I feel like this is probably gonna be too loud. Is this any better? Just make a current state of Asia comic that should be nice and easy, and you don't have to use as many brain cells. And this is more than just current state of Asia, right? This is the past 70 years on the Korean Peninsula. Way better audio. Okay, excellent. Perfect. I didn't like having to wear my headset either. All right, let's draw Sri Lanka. I know next to nothing about Sri Lanka. I know that there was a civil war of sorts with was it the Tamil Tigers, and they lost. The government won, effectively ended the civil war a couple years ago, and then there was a lot of domestic unrest, right? All right, let's draw Sri Lanka. Yeah, I was using my headset, which has a built-in mic, but I have a desktop mic which is much better quality, and I couldn't figure out how to use it, but it looks like it's working now, so if it's too loud, let me know. Oops, sloping too hard. This is going to be interesting to draw. I have never drawn this flag before, and you know you have to fit it into a circle, so it'll be interesting. Make Bahia ball? What is Bahia? One of the 26 states of Brazil. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Probably not. I don't know any Portuguese. Oh, that's actually a pretty cool flag. It's like Chile's flag or the US flag or Texas. Okay, let's finish Sri Lanka. Basically drawing a second ball inside of it. Balls within balls. Interlinked. For any Blade Runner fans out there.
Get rid of the South Korean flag. This is weird, man. How do I draw this? Give it a little bit more space. It's like a third of the way down through the flag, this second stripe. That is an interesting looking lion. I'll do another line behind this, another layer, just to make it clean. Merge that. Get the orange. And then we have to draw a lion. It does have a black background. He's got a sword. Sri Lankan chaos flag making. Yeah, that should be the name of the stream. I'm gonna spend 2 hours drawing this flag. Okay. What's the worst line I can make? God, I don't know how to do this. You know, I'm gonna copy this over and use this as a reference. Even smaller. Hi, Haven Lady. Welcome. Thanks for joining. What do I think about country balls with mouths? Absolutely vile. Verboten. All right. This is awful. That chest is way too bulbous. Draw Poland on vacation with Sri Lanka? Okay, we'll do that. We'll make it make sense. I can't imagine Sri Lanka is a very big tourist destination, particularly for Eastern Europeans, but probably just made a lot of enemies by saying that. Poland, Central Europe. Let's see. Go this way. Looks like a duck. Are there any flags out there with ducks on them? I think Oregon's has a beaver, which is kind of cool. What do you guys think of the new Minnesota flag? If anyone's familiar with it. I think it's definitely an improvement over crappy blue field with the state seal on it, but... I have to move this lion. Give him a big ass sword. And I'll do the sword after. Draw a semicircle for the body and a circle for the head and a line for the sword. Yeah, I could probably just make it easier, simpler, but I wanted to give it some level of accuracy. Yeah, I drew the Nepalese flag once, and that was a pain in the ass to draw, but it's a gorgeous flag. No, sorry, not Nepal. Bhutan. Nepal has a cool flag too, but I meant Bhutan. All right. I don't really like the new Minnesotan flag. The old flag was one of the few seal and bedsheet flags that I thought worked pretty well. Hard disagree. I think every single state flag that has a state seal on it is garbage. F tier. F tier flags. Straight garbage. New Jersey has one of the worst ones, like puke yellow. Their stupid seal on it. It's awful. I don't know what these like teardrops are on the flag, what they represent. Good enough. Let's do the sword. This is pretty bad, man. It's kind of fun to draw, but I don't think I'm ever going to make comics with Sri Lanka in it because the flag is very annoying. Okay. Let's get the red. Honestly, not half bad. Very angry lion. Someone proposed a New Hampshire flag. Fortunately, it's just the same flag but with text under it. I'm generally not a fan of putting text on flags. There are a few I think that do it well. I think the Californian flag is really good. The orange could be thicker. Yeah, I agree. Let's make this a little bit thicker. No, go back. Whoops. Oh, that's not what we wanted to do. Delete that. Let's put the orange out to here. Ooh. Yeah, that looks better. Give some eyes. He's going to be talking to Poland. It's not terrible. I'm not going to merge these two layers yet because I don't know what expression Sri Lanka should have. Make a happy little line with a friend and some happy little clouds. What will Sri Lanka do? I feel like they ask themselves that every day. I don't know. Indonesia has the laziest flag provincial designs too because it's just yellow, green, white background. Slap some city seals. Yeah, stuff like that is awful. Hot take. Some of Liberia's county flags are better than all of our seal on blue flags. Yes. Let me find that one. God, where is it? Let's see if I can share this with you guys. Liberian county flags. This is the flag of one of the counties in Liberia. Genuinely. I love it. You know, it doesn't pretend to be something that it's not. Yeah, this flag goes hard, 100%. I unironically love this flag. All right, so we've got Sri Lanka. We're going to draw Poland. Poland is super great to draw because it is a very simple flag. But given that it's Poland ball, we don't draw it accurately because it's upside down. Let me see if I can find one of my old comics. Yeah, River G County. I don't know how to pronounce it. Average first to third grade flags. Yep. Terrible. No, it's not terrible. It's fantastic. Let's see if I can find a comic with Poland. Poland is probably one of the most common characters that I use. You know, the US, UK, and Poland are probably the top three. I try and draw France and Germany a lot just because I think you can fit them in a lot of different contexts. And they're, you know, drawing a tricolor is super easy. Why can't I find a comic with Poland in it? Oh, okay, here we go. This is a good one. This is a comic I made many years ago. Just a simple flag joke. My favorite flags to draw. I love drawing any bicolor or tricolor. I don't even know if bicolor is a term. I assume it is just because tricolor is. But I love drawing France. I think France is the ultimate tricolor. I think it sets the standard for tricolors. It's an absolutely gorgeous flag. I hate drawing the Union Jack. I hate drawing the American flag just because they're super complicated and they just take a long time to actually draw. South Korea was pretty fun. I don't do that often. Let's draw Poland. Maybe a little bit smaller. Let's zoom in a bit. And it's important to make sure your balls are smooth. Hey, that was pretty good. Oh, I have it on wrong layer. All right, Poland. Poland is easily the best character in Poland ball. Anyone who disagrees is straight up wrong. It's not even an opinion, it's just straight fact. Whoops, I didn't actually capture the red. Okay. Bahia? Alright, I'll draw Bahia. What am I doing here? Put that a little bit. No, I don't like the angle. It's okay. Draw some eyes. 3 pixels. 3 pixel width. Let's make him happy. Poland is on vacation in Sri Lanka for some reason. So we need 1 line of text to explain why Poland is happy to be on vacation in Sri Lanka, or why he's there in the first place. It's not one of those countries you hear a lot about, outside of the region, of course. Okay, that's a good eye. And I want to put the eyes sort of a little lower than halfway down. Okay. So let's make Sri Lanka, Poland. I got into Poland ball in late 2022. Better late than never. It's a great medium. Every comic you see is entirely accurate historically. It's probably the best way to learn about history, just because you're not allowed to lie when you make a Poland ball comic. I tried to make a world subdivision country ball map multiple times, but kept getting stuck on the U.S. because of how boring they are. Yeah, I mean, there are some state flags out there that are absolutely amazing. New Mexico, Alaska, Arizona, Colorado, great flags. Smooth balls are important for both drawing Poland ball and medical checks. U.S. state flags are pretty fun to draw, at least when you compare to the stale style of Estonian county flags. You know, I never even thought that Estonia would have counties. It's such a small country. Yeah, these flags are pretty boring. They're it's just a white half, a green half, and then a seal in the white half. So yeah, those are pretty lame. You guys seen the Provo flag? Provo, Utah. Oh, they changed it. Oh my god. Provo, Utah. This is a famous flag in the Vexillology subreddit. Let me pull it up. This was the flag of Provo, Utah for about 20, 30 years. It looks like it looks like the packaging on like a multivitamin bottle or something. But apparently they changed it recently. And this is their new flag, which is just it's boring, you know? This is way better. Yeah, Provo, Utah is also a meme in Vexillology Circle Jerk. Absolutely. Estonia is about the size of a USA state. Depends. I mean, we have some states that are big, some states that are small, both by population and physical size. First flag was better? Yeah, absolutely. This flag goes hard, 100%. This is a fantastic flag. Looks like a brand that sells paint. Yeah. Logo of a water bottle company. All right. Let's get back on track. We have Poland and Sri Lanka for some reason, also in this comic next to the Koreas. Poland is on vacation in Sri Lanka, and he's telling him why he's happy to be there. So we need one line of text. Any suggestions in the chat? Gib Clay. What a world if Poland could somehow annex Sri Lanka. Finally not having to clean's toilet. PlumberCon 24. Is that a stereotype that Sri Lankans work as plumbers? Into Helloings, Sri Lanka. PlumberCon 24. Why was North Korea so aggressive? It's normal rival country just like me and Germany. Welcome to Sri Lanka, Poland. What else we got? He likes India, but not India. Running away from Soviets. Okay, I like the India angle. We can work India into this somehow. We can come back to it too. Budget vacation was varying's worth it. Mix it two. Into helloing Sri Lanka, now give clay. Make it a joke that Poland assumes that it's a stereotype and Sri Lanka really dislikes it. Hearings you have candy. Poland wants to try into tea. Put India above Sri Lanka, just staring. Oh, you know what would be cool? Here, let's do this. Let's draw India in the corner. India's got a great flag, too. We're going to make India large and overbearing because it's the biggest country in the world by population. 1.408 billion people. That is crazy. Can you draw Sweden and Canada? Yeah, we could probably work them in at some point. India has a good flag to draw? Absolutely. I don't draw India that often, though. But yeah, it's a great flag. So I'm going to draw the eyes first. What is layer? Oh, that's text. Okay, we can remove that for now. Oh, no, that's no good. And only 30% of them work for a living wage. Bahia. All right, I'll draw it. Oh, okay, I'll draw it. I'll draw it. Just because you've been very persistent in chat, Dynaco. I'll do that after India. Sorry, this is a little hard to draw. See my hand like had a muscle spasm there at the bottom. Poland and Sri Lanka, we can move down a little bit just so it actually looks like India is looking at them. Merge the eyes. Draw Russia trying to get Alaska back. Yeah, good luck. When India's eye is the same size as Poland. The most serene Republic of Venice. All right. Draw the Indian flag. Is it orange on top? Okay. Trying to get a feel for what the proportion should actually look like, since most of India's off camera, essentially. Probably something like that. I don't know what this symbol actually means. I'm curious. The flag of India, colloquially called Tiranga, the tricolor. It's a horizontal rectangular tricolor flag, the colors being of India saffron, white, and India green, with the Asoka chakra, a 24-spoke wheel in navy blue at its center. The Asoka chakra is an Indian symbol, which is a depiction of the Dharma chakra. It is called so because it appears on a number of edicts of Asoka, most prominent among which is the lion capital of Asoka. Okay. It's a lot of... I don't know like anything about Indian history, so... Wish I did. I feel like we should, because it's a super important country. I'm gonna hide the eyes. Just draw the wheel. It's a boob. Probably didn't make it big enough. I can get around that by making the banded colors a little different. Actually, let's see what it looks like. That looks good enough, I think, for India. It's an old proto-Hindu symbol. Okay. The flag of Turkmenistan is quite something. The pattern takes a long while to draw. What does the flag look like? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. I'm never drawing that. Do you know that the Rainbow Provo Utah flag was a redesign of an earlier flag? I did not know that. That's pretty cool, though, that that was an improvement over whatever they had before. At least people thought it was. All right. We need a line for Poland. Poland ball artist who doesn't know every flag by heart. Shaking my head. Yeah, I am an amateur. There's only like 6 countries in the world that matter. Those are the only flags you didn't know. I'll let you think about what those 6 countries are. People blame India for the swastika because of Nazis, which is sad. Yeah, it was I think the Nazis stole it. Bahia is a state in Brazil. Kyrgyzstan is Xbox land. Kyrgyzstan's flag is actually pretty cool. Like Kyrgyzstan or Kyrgyzstan in English? I think it's Kyrgyzstan in English. A species of fish. All right, let's draw Bahia. Please let me know how to pronounce it. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly. We can draw Brazil as well. One of the things I like drawing about Brazil is on the seal or whatever, where it says, what is it, it's Ordem e Progresso or something like that. Using that as a way to just add like flavor text, I think is pretty cool. The H in Bahia is, okay, so it's Bahia? Bahia, okay. Bahia. 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 Right here, we'll put Brazil. Let's do Brazil and then Bahia on top of it. I love Brazil's flag too. I think it's a great flag. It's, going back to the idea of text on a flag. I think Brazil's flag is one of those few that's got text on it that's very tastefully done. Pull up the Brazilian flag. I think it's also a fun flag to draw. Have them look up at Bahia. Hide the eyes for now. I lose track of chat when I have all these windows open, pulling up different flags and comics. I'll look at it in a second. It's awesome that you guys are participating so much. It's really cool. I think for future live stream sessions, at least the ones that I do, I'll probably make actual comics that I've wanted to make. But I think the community input, the chat input is really cool. Add some of the stars. Yeah, Brazil's got an awesome flag. I really like it. Zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of tell. Okay. Eyes. Does Bahia have oil? Great question. Does it want to be an American state? Draw Tringapore and triangle. How do I feel about Jamaica? I don't know much about Jamaica. It seems like a beautiful country, though. I've never been. I've been to, oh God, in the Caribbean. I've been to the Bahamas and Puerto Rico, which I guess isn't technically part of the Caribbean, but close enough. But both are gorgeous. It's just fun to play around with text on flags at times. Yeah, absolutely. I came to know Baya via an animation with Donald Duck and Three Caballeros from 1940s. I don't know what Caballeros is. Afraid I'm going to say something I shouldn't say. A Spanish or Mexican gentleman. Okay. I've only been to 3 Brazilian states. How many states does Brazil have? Like 26 or something, right? Can you make Sweden and Canada together? Yeah, I can probably do that. What made me join Poland Ball? I found Poland Ball in like 2010, 2011, maybe 2010. There were a lot of comics that I saw on the int board on 4chan and CrouchChan. And there was, I looked very desperately for some kind of like actual archive of comics instead of just finding them piecemeal on image boards. And then I stumbled upon the subreddit when it was about 2,500 or 3,000 subscribers. I think it's at above 60 or 600, 500, or 650,000 now. So I joined the subreddit around the same time as Aaron, C14, and Dick Rhino. We all sort of founded it around the same time. Guyana is going to be our 51st state. I don't think so. Can you tell my dad, who is on the screen, that Missouri needs more prep before leaving? I don't understand. Jamaica's flag looks good. Yeah, Jamaica's got a great flag. Two years after you were born. Oh, God, it's hard. It's hard to come to terms with the fact that I'm not that young anymore. All right, we'll put a little Bahia on top of Brazil. So you're going to have to give me a suggestion as to what he's saying, what he's telling Brazil. I know very little about Brazilian politics and history and culture, so any kind of help is much appreciated. It's a cool flag. Add some white. Triangle. That's very strange. You know, stars and whatever are really common. I've never seen a triangle like this on a flag. It's like Brazil state ball we've got going on here. Bahia, why are you so sleepy? Am I going to get in trouble with the Brazilian internet community by advancing stereotypes of your states with which I'm not familiar? Draw Maldives on a boat. Bahia. One of the 26 states of Brazil, located in the northeast region of the country. It's the 4th largest state by population after Sao Paulo, Minas Gerais, and Rio de Janeiro. Bahia's capital is the city of Salvador. It's on a spit of land separating the Bay of All Saints from the Atlantic. State is home to 7% of the Brazilian population, produces 4.2% of the country's GDP. Hi, biodegradable. Thanks for joining. The text should be "I'm free." Is there like an independence movement or something in Bahia? There's a joke that people who live in Bahia are sleepy. Okay, I like that. Let's put a sleeping cap on them and have them sleep. It's kind of hard to see. Move the eyes down a little bit like that. Something like this. Make it like a light bluish, maybe. Some stripes, maybe a little bit darker blue, so it's contrast better with the background since it's white. No, it's too bright. Let's do something like that. Some darker bluish stripes. Let's make this. Oops. That a little darker, and then the outline. Whenever I draw an object, I like using a darker color of whatever one of the colors is internally in the actual object, rather than just having a black outline. I think it makes it look a little cleaner. You know? I should have used the 2-pixel thing here. So this would be a great question to ask, since it seems like there's 1 or 2 Brazilians in the chat. In Portuguese, what do you guys use to indicate like sleeping? Like in English, it's ZZZ, right? Should I italicize this? YouTube State of Brazil ball. Oops. Always ZZZ? Okay. What's the context behind people who live in Bahia being sleepy? Hmm? ZZZ is universal sleep sign. I mean, I don't want to assume because I don't really know any I don't know Spanish or Portuguese. Can you have Italy yell at Hawaii for making pineapple pizza with Canada ominously happy in the background? There was a comic. Whose was it? I forget who it was, but it's essentially that joke. Pull and ball comics normally use broken English. Yeah, for those of you who may not be familiar, in pull and ball canon, only majority English speaking countries use proper English. So any country where English isn't, an official language or spoken by a majority of the population, they use broken English. We call it English. There's a whole guide to it on the subreddit. It's actually an art form in and of itself, trying to have really good English. Some artists are really good at it. I'm not great. I think I've had a few standout lines that have appeared in comics throughout the years. USA is the exception. USA doesn't have an official language. Yeah, mapping all countries that don't have English as an official language to speak with broken English. There are like occasions where you can break a rule if it's like for the sake of the joke. Like I remember there was one comic where someone used the circle tool, which you're absolutely not supposed to use when drawing balls in a pole and ball comic. They used it to make South Korea because the joke was that I think South Korea has the highest plastic surgery rates in the world. So the joke was that it's a perfect sphere, and I think that was allowed specifically for that comic. But there are ways to like that, creative ways to get around the rules. I'm not suggesting that you should, because more often than not, it's going to get banned or not banned. It's going to be your comic is going to get removed or not approved. What art style do I like the most besides pole and ball? So pole and ball is a more of a medium rather than an art style, right? But in terms of the kind of art that I like the most, I listen to music constantly. But in terms of actual art styles, I love Art Deco. I think Art Deco, particularly for architecture, is gorgeous. But even just like interior design, wallpaper, paintings, things like that, I think Art Deco is. It's got a great blend of what was it? It was Beaux-Art that was prominent in like the 1910s, mixed with sort of the more confident kind of expectation of the future. Dick Rano drew that. It was probably the second or third comic he ever drew. Sorry, what comic was this? Oh, it was the okay. It was the South Korea one. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know Dick Rano did that one. Yeah, that's a great comic. How about Circle Tool and Country Balls animation? In animations, it's different. In the subreddit itself, which is sort of the unofficial, or rather, I guess official, we're the gatekeepers of pole and ball as an art form. Sort of a mantle that I guess we gave ourselves, but you wouldn't use Circle Tool for basically any reason. But again, we don't really do animations in the subreddit itself. There are animations on our channel. If you haven't seen them, please go take a look. They're really great. But we're a little bit looser with what we expect of people in different kinds of mediums, not just comic form. Let's move this text over here. I'm going to merge this because I think we're done with this. Something like that. You can always change that. let's add some shading. What is Art Deco? I'll give you the actual definition. It's an art style that came to prominence in the 1920s. It sort of reflected the optimism of the era before the Great Depression. I'm giving you the Wikipedia definition here, but Art Deco is short for the French art décoratif, or decorative arts. It's a style of visual arts, architecture, product design that first appeared in Paris in the 1910s, just before World War I, and flourished in the US and Europe during the 1920s to early 1930s. Through styling and design of the exterior and interior of anything from large structures to small objects, including how people look, including fashion, clothing, and jewelry, Art Deco has influenced bridges, buildings, ships, ocean liners, trains, cars, trucks, buses, furniture, and everyday objects, including radios and vacuum cleaners. I'll give you a couple of examples. So if you know the Chrysler Building, or I think most people probably know what the Chrysler Building is, but the Chrysler Building was at one point the tallest building in the world. It's in New York City. It is probably the most obvious example of Art Deco. Pull it up here. So this is the crown of the building. It's a skyscraper. It's like 1,000 feet tall or something, but it has this very elaborate crown. This is done in the Art Deco style. The Empire State Building is also done in the Art Deco style, but I think it's a much plainer looking building. Most people who are familiar with some of the skyscrapers in New York, the Chrysler Building is generally the standout. It's most people's favorite, probably, because it's so famous. It's iconic. But this is the crown. It's very heavily stylized. It evokes a sense of optimism, right? With all these lines or these arrows pointing upward. It's very elaborate. So it's my personal favorite building. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous building. And my dentist is actually in a building adjacent to it. The more you know. In cities I go to often, there are Art Deco street signs. Yeah. Art Nouveau. Yeah, Art Nouveau is great too. Can you make Hawaii scold California or Texas about drinking too much? I don't really want to draw any state balls. We did one subnational province here with Bahia. I'm going to add some shading to these characters because I forgot to do that. So let's do that here. This is very Dick Rhino-esque shading. Basically doing like a crescent moon around the ball. Let's go do it for India, Sri Lanka, and Poland. Whoa, hold on. To put it Slayer at the very top. Make sure I capture all these balls. You got to grab as many balls as you can when you're shading all of them. Do Sri Lanka. Cut through the eye. This is actually a really cool flag. Super hard to draw, but it was kind of fun. Whoa, that's not good. All right, for India, we'll just do something simple. %, opacity. That was pretty good. Yeah, I live in New York, Long Island. Cool. Belize. Let's see. I think we were going to do Canada and Sweden next. Bizarre fact: Mexico's first state is Mexico, which was established on December 20th, 1823. Interesting. I had no idea. Can you do Argentina with a funny face on the sun? Oh God, there was maybe the moderators remember, there was a comic a number of years ago. The joke had something to do with Argentina's the sun, the face on Argentina's flag. It was really funny. I can't remember the anything else about it other than like it was the joke was like the expression that the face was making, the sun. Could you let's see. All right, we'll do Canada and Sweden. I'm gonna merge all of this stuff. We're running out of space on this canvas. I could always make it bigger, but yeah, I think it was a pyramid comic. If you could find it and link it, that would be awesome. I remember, I can't remember what that comic was. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but I remember thinking it was hilarious. Visual arts mediums that you dislike. Country Humans and Gacha. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Oh, you know, I'm actually not a huge fan of Baroque art. That's probably a hot take, but I'm not a fan. Will this get uploaded onto the subreddit? Probably not the subreddit. Probably the Pole and Ball community subreddit. The official sub is more for content, for actual comics. This isn't. There's no narrative here. This is just this is a communally drawn comic, I guess. Move this over here. Give us some more space. So Sweden and Canada, what do they have in common? They're both communist. What else? Let's do Sweden. I have never been to Sweden. I would love to go at some point. I've been to Finland. Finland was probably the single best vacation that I've ever been on. Finland was amazing, although I went during the summer, so it wasn't cold. But it was during a heat wave. It was like the middle of July. It was a record heat wave in Finland, and stores across the country had run out of like floor fans and air conditioners and stuff like that, because it's not a country where you typically need them. So it was only it was 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 21 degrees Celsius for those of you who use a metric that actually makes sense. So it was not hot by any means, but it was still a record. At least then, I'm sure it was like 6 or 7 years ago I went, so I'm sure climate change has done a number since then. Canada and Sweden as war criminals. Yeah, Sweden is on an island looking worried while Canada has a bottle of whiskey. Can you draw Finland with them as well? Make like a group of called countries? Yeah, these countries are super simple to draw. I wish I could go to Finland in the future, but I'd probably freeze. Probably. I mean, I've never been during the winter, but I'm a big fan of like the the stereotype is that the Finns are very introverted. There's all those famous photos of people standing like 2 meters apart from each other, waiting for the bus. Like that's my dream. I hate sort of the lack of respect for personal space in a lot of other Western countries. All right, let's get Sweden and Canada. I have to find an old comic of mine that features those. See if I can pull one up. Sweden and Canada. Oh, and Finland, right? Okay. I wanted to do the booze cruise from Helsinki to Tallinn in Estonia, but I did not have time to do that. I was there for like 5 or 6 days. Pole and Ball High School. This was a comic I made many years ago that features the Nordics. Okay. Let's do Sweden first. Put Sweden on the right. Oh, that's Sweden. Okay, let me rename this. This will be Canada. And this will be Sweden. Canada I have up here somewhere. There it is. I love Canada's flag too. Gorgeous flag. Draw Finland mad at Sweden that they have a friendly. Oh, they have a friendly. Yeah. Oh, I've got a great idea. It's gonna piss off a lot of Swedes, but that's sometimes the fun in pole and ball is making people mad for no reason. You know. Hate drawing Canada's leaf. I actually I'll show you how I do it step by step. I actually think it's pretty fun. From Malta, but you have an obsession with Finland. I can't imagine anyone from Malta would want to live in Finland. You guys have got great weather in Malta. All right, so the leaf I draw as a triangle. Put the stem at the bottom, and then basically like 3 prongs on the left side, the right side, and the top. Right? Super simple. Whoa, what am I doing? Eraser's too big. Where'd it go? Here, I'm going to redo that. Start with the top. Yeah, I think the Canadian flag is probably one of the best national flags in the world. It's very simple, very elegant. It's instantly recognizable, right? It's one of those flags everyone knows what it is. It's very. It's more of like an oval than a circle. Bring the leaf down a little bit. Eyes. This is one of the problems that I have. Maybe you guys have some suggestions, but whenever I'm drawing a country like Canada, or like it's pretty obvious what this is, right? But the eyes are obscuring the maple leaf, and I feel like it looks kind of weird. But oops. You're from Brazil. It's all right, but a bit hot. Proud of my country. I have always wanted to visit Brazil. I've never been to South America. Aaron's solution seems to be to draw the leaf really big. Yeah, you could do that for sure. Maybe I'll try that next time. Aaron's probably drawn the Canadian flag more than like anyone in history, to be honest. All right. Any suggestions for what Canada and Sweden should be saying to each other? You want to go to Indonesia, Germany, and Japan. 3 pretty different countries, I would imagine. I've not been to any of those. All right, I was supposed to draw Finland too, right? Let's see. Canada apologizing for something that the U.S. did. Typical Canada. Isn't Aaron from Ontario? Or was it a different province? I think he's from Ontario. Sweden wants maple syrup. Okay. Hey. Oops. Merge Sweden. Draw the whiskey wars between Canada and Denmark. Is that the one where there's that disputed island between Denmark and Canada, somewhere in the Arctic? And every couple of years or something, there's like a Canadian expedition that goes to the island, leaves like a bottle of Canadian whiskey or something, and then a Danish expedition comes and leaves a bottle of Danish whiskey or something. I want to say they actually like signed some sort of treaty to finalize that disputed island, and it's like just cut in half now. Yeah, it got solved. But that's how all wars should be fought. Is it Hans Island? Is that what it was called? Hans Island is an island in the center of the Kennedy Channel of the Narrow Strait in the high Arctic region, split between the Canadian territory of Nunavut and the Danish autonomous territory of Greenland. Okay. Yeah, the Whiskey War. Okay. The Whiskey War, also known as the Liquor Wars, was a bloodless war and border dispute between the Kingdom of Denmark and Canada over Hans Island. Between 1973 and 2022, the island was under dispute between the two nations, although never amounting to direct conflict or violence. Both countries agreed on a process in 2005 to resolve the issue, which was finally settled in 2022, resulting in the creation of a land border on the island between the two states. Certainly not as embarrassing as the Emu War. Do I know about the community? I do not. No. You're in the middle of Canada and Greenland when they drew a line down the middle of the island. Oh, it was in the middle of Canada and Greenland. Okay. Good job. Keep eating your vitamins. And no one can hurt you. It's the ultimate medicine. You could have a gummy multivitamin and get hit by a bus and you'd be totally fine. Wow, that is a perfect ball. Almost. Get the Finnish flag. All the Nordic flags are great. Should actually put Finland like off to the side. Right down a little bit. Have Finland drinking coffee. I was going to give them vodka, but coffee makes sense too. Yeah, I was going to... Here, let's make them tired. Finland has the highest coffee consumption in the world or something per capita. Coffee and vodka is Finnish breakfast. Are we in a pole and ball renaissance era? I hope to God that we are. Pole and ball is such a great medium. I felt like pole and ball like really rocketed in the early 2010s and became very mainstream, at least in our little corner of the internet on Reddit and on Facebook at the time, less so now. And for whatever reason, it just never like it hit a ceiling, and it just the growth was sort of anemic for a number of years. But this whole YouTube project that we've been working on for the past couple of months, we feel like has really reinvigorated the medium. I personally took like a 8-long-year hiatus from pole and ball. I would occasionally check the subreddit, see what was going on, but I just didn't follow it. Like I used to look at every comic, read every comic every day, and then it just got to be too much. Other things got in the way. But I've been making a lot more comics in the past 6 or 7 months than the previous 8 years or so. I think that there's a renewed sense of optimism for Poland Ball's future. Is the Emu War the only reference Poland Ballers know about Australia? Need to make more Aussie comics to show you guys that there's plenty of other silly stuff. Yeah, we've had a lot of great Aussie cartoonists over the year. Vorsprung, who's part of the YouTube channel, was sort of a staple for a number of years. And, admittedly, I don't draw a lot of comics with Australia because I hate drawing your flag. Because I mentioned this earlier, but I hate drawing the Union Jack. Every time you draw Australia, you have to draw the Union Jack and then the Southern Cross, right? So it's even more difficult to draw than most flags. So it's sort of just out of convenience, I don't draw it. All right, let's do some coffee. I actually don't know too much about Australian history, but I think people like referencing the Emu War on the internet just because it's pretty funny, Lose a war against birds. And granted, they're, birds are dinosaurs, so. And emus are one of the more dangerous birds. Let's draw this off to the side. Color should this be? Probably like a grayish, a little darker gray. Something like this. That should probably be the gray right there. Do some steam lines. Maybe a little bit lighter. I'll make this transparent, actually. Steam on stream. That's 35%, 75, 55. That doesn't look too bad. I think 55 is good level of opacity for that. Catch up with chat. Have I heard of the recent events in Papua New Guinea? I have not. Drew Finland nursing a hangover, a strong cup of coffee the other day. Must not have seen that. The number for coffee consumption is already high, but it's brought down by children, so it'd be even hotter. Yeah, that's fair. Draw Viking Empire. Well, put the Kalmar Union as a ghost in the background. They drink vodka in a sauna. Georgius joined Poland Ball in 2016 or 17, right after the peak. Also used to read every single post. Yeah. You guys are lazy. There's a fun trick with drawing the Union Jack, which I keep as your own secret. Okay. Did I know that Spain and France do something with an island each year? I don't. You're missing a word there. Oh, share an island. Okay. I did not know that. No. Put a fun little thing on Finland's mug in the spirit of best boss or number one dad. It's kind of small to put text on that. Koleye. Hello, IDK Animates. Welcome to the stream. All right. Let's get some suggestions for what Finland, Sweden, and Canada are talking about. And why Norway or Denmark aren't here. It's awfully close to another character for Finland. Add some shading. Can I put Canada at the same level? Yeah, okay. A little Omsk bird on the mug might work. True. Finland is so me in the morning. Yeah, I'm functionally useless until I've had at least one cup of coffee in the morning. My caffeine addiction runs very deep. I like being addicted to it though, and I don't want to stop. I like being a coffee snob. Every Saturday and Sunday, I get a coffee, and then I go for a walk through the city. Keep myself sane. It's crazy how much just shading alone sort of adds to the artwork. An errant yellow pixel there. Keep track of where the line is ending. There's a hole somewhere. Oh, I see it. %35% opacity, that's what I normally do for these. Draw Denmark and Greenland. Greenland's got a really cool flag too. Love that flag. They're talking about being in the northern circle. Denmark will have a new head of state in a few hours. Yeah, I saw the Queen abdicated, right? I always thought it was pretty selfish of the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, to have not resigned or abdicated rather. You know, like kind of rude to her kid. You know. Whatever. I'm not a fan of monarchies. You don't want to be coffee addicted. You're coffee addicted and get actual headaches when you skip coffee. Yeah, I mean, that's how deep my addiction runs too, but I don't mind it. Canada should say, what maple syrup brand do you use? Okay, that's good. What's the most popular liquor brand in Sweden and in Finland? And we could say that could be their answer. Let's see. Let's find a maple syrup brand in Sweden. What brand? Syrup? Syrup is Dansucker? Dansucker? Okay. Koskenkorva vodka. I think so. This would actually be a great like standalone panel in a comic. What brand of maple syrup do you use? And then Sweden gives like the straight man answer, and then Finland says vodka. Right. What brands of maple syrup are popular in Sweden? Maple syrup from Madagascar. I did not know that maple syrup was something that they exported. I'm more of a fruity kind of guy. You've never tasted maple syrup? It's good. I mean, it's sweet, you know. Maple syrup and pancakes or waffles is a pretty staple dinner, at least in North America. Or not dinner, breakfast food. Um, why are Sweden gay jokes so popular? It's kind of a dead horse. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think it's just because Sweden has just historically been a very progressive country on various civil rights issues, which is a good thing, you know. There are stereotypes about every single country. The charm in Poland Ball is that it pokes fun at everybody. You know, one of Dick Rhino's best comics, or I think one of his best comics, is it's basically just an America fat joke where America is struggling to get onto a trampoline and he's just this huge blob of, you know, organic mass. Kosenkorka vodka. Okay, let's do that. Most popular spirits in Finland. I had long drink there. Same thing. Okay, you know what? Maybe it looks like this isn't popular vodka in both countries. So they can both just say that. That's not bad. Oops. Koskenkorva is a Finnish brand. Wait, Poland Ball, are you Polish? No, you know, on the Poland Ball YouTube team, I don't think there's anyone who's Polish. We have Polish moderators in the subreddit. I say we, I'm not a moderator. I was very briefly, but drawing Saudi Arabia's flag is pure hell. Yeah. I like all of the what was it? In vexillology circle jerk, all of the like the Houthi flag redesigns. You know, it's like God, let me find them. Some of them are hilarious. You know, it's these are some of those. It's the Houthi flag is one of those flags that violates the don't put text on flag rule. Let me see. It's like there was a it was like U.S. flag in the style of the Houthi flag. Yeah, flag of the United States in this. Oh, okay, no. Flag of the United States in the style of Saudi Arabia. Let's see if I can pull this up. This is funny. There is no God but Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the messenger of God. And instead of the sword on the Saudi flag, it's an M4. Make something about America or about Minnesota's new flag in America, mistakes them for something random third world. That is a great idea for a comic. Because America is characterized as being very stupid and trigger happy. Um, I just assume that this is. I've never seen this flag before. I don't know what country you are, but I do need to bomb you. Pulling ball is not one person. We're all pulling ball. We are all pulling ball on this blessed day. Flags with Arabic scribbled on them look like an absolute nightmare to draw. Yeah, I mean, in general, that's one of the reasons why you don't put text on flags is because it makes it more difficult to draw, or to recognize, to remember. But again, as I was saying earlier in the stream, there are some flags that have text on them that are done very tastefully. The Brazilian flag, the California flag, are great examples. Um, I I do unironically like the design of the Saudi flag, but I don't read Arabic, so it's more of a stylistic thing to me. But there aren't many flags that use green, right? They're mostly in Africa and the Middle East, and it's nice to sort of see green used in flags when most of the world uses some variation of red or blue. Flag satire. Yeah, that was a flag, a satirical flag design. We could probably fit like one or two more things in here on the bottom right and then the top center. But I am going to be right back because I have to run to the restroom. And we're back. Yeah, tell us your favorite pole and ball comic. Dick Rhino. Today's favorite comic is called First on Mars, with USA going to Mars, only to discover that Norway got there first and says, "Welcome to Blue Land." That is a classic comic. Fantastic. I said this earlier, but my favorite pole and ball comic is Poland Cannot Into Oil. I don't know if it was actually called out, but we have an animated version of it on our channel. If you haven't seen it, please go take a look. Just very, I don't know, just it captures, I think, the essence of pole and ball very succinctly. Manny to the max. One of my favorites is when Norway and Denmark get something to help them Somalia to help them find treasure. Okay. I don't know if I remember that one off the top of my head, but I do really love the characterization of Somalia basically just only as a pirate. You know, if you need a pirate in your comic, you go to Somalia, right? That's who you use. I have I have an interesting comic. I'll show it to you guys. Let me pull it up. This was for a contest long time ago on it was supposed to be like it was, I think, the lesser known September comic from maybe 8 or 9 years ago, where you're supposed to use through the month of September, the subreddit typically forbids the use of the most popular countries in Poland Ball, just so that we get comics that don't have the US, China, France, Germany, England, whatever, right? So I drew this comic about some African countries. So I'll just put it up on the screen. This was super fun to make. I don't even remember drawing this thing at the rated E for everyone with electricity thing at the bottom right. Those the trees were fun to draw. We got Egypt here. The lightning was fun to draw. Here's Somalia as the pirate. Pirate hats are pretty sweet. And then I think this is Uganda, which is a very unfortunate. It has a very unfortunate history of just massacres and pretty terrible human rights record. But that's sort of par for the course with a lot of sub-Saharan African countries, unfortunately. Handy Pole. Handy Pole is a good comic. Dick Rhino's favorite comic of all time is Russian Horse by Event. I don't remember that one off the top of my head. You like comics with Finland and India. Two very different countries. You should make a pole and ball art. I think it should be called Super Pole and Ball Wonder. I don't know if there's some sort of context I'm missing there. You do Iceland running away from a volcano? Yeah, let's do that. Iceland's got a cool flag. Put them at the very top. Put it at the top or at the bottom? Let's put them at the top. Then we draw a volcano. Gonna make them small. Iceland is one of those countries that I very desperately want to see. It's become a huge tourist destination in like the past decade and a half or so. There were a lot of airlines serving the US and Canada and Europe that would advertise essentially cheaper flights if there was a stopover or a layover in Iceland. So it sort of took off as a lot of tourists going to either Europe or the United States would take these flights and stop in Iceland for a couple of days, and looks awesome. Okay, let's see eyes. So he's got to look startled. Or distressed, I guess. Single pixel line here because I'm running out of space. Okay. Let's get the colors. Red. Looks like England. All right, let's merge these. Fill in the eyes. We got Iceland. All right, how am I gonna draw a volcano? Do you like very cartoony style? And it'll be sort of stylized in the sense that it's not really a panel, but it'll sort of bleed out of the panel. Oh, you know what? I should use a thicker pencil here. Are you still going to draw the Whiskey Wars? Probably not in this comic, or not comic, but this panel. I'll probably end the stream here soon. I've got some other things I've got to get to tonight, but this has been really fun, and it's been really great to have such an interactive chat. No, that's, I think, too big of a volcano. Let's do something like this. Thicker. Draw a snowy mountain. Yeah, that's the idea. Let's see, I drew the Himalayas in a comic. Let's see if I can find that. It was probably the best mountains I've drawn in a comic. I can just use that as a template. Here, Himalayas. Kind of tough, actually. All right. Let's start making it like a dark brown grayish or something. Make this a little darker. Smoke is going to be hard to draw, but I can make several layers and then just change the opacity on some of them so it looks like it's rolling. Some snow on top of this. Oh, I guess it's more like... I mean, it's Iceland, right? There's snow everywhere. What if I do this? This is kind of tricky, actually. This is a good color for the ground. Just do several different layers of different colors. Something like this. Smoke is not hard to draw, just 2 or 3 scribbly lines and a bucket fill within. Yeah. It's not hard, it's just like I want my art to look a little bit better, like, and if I put a lot of effort into it, spend a lot of time, I can make it look good like this. It's just, sometimes I just don't have the patience to do it. Let's do something like this. Ground 3, I'll put it behind ground 2. Whoops. Should probably be darker. Ooh, okay, yeah, I kind of like this. I see where I'm going with this now. Maybe like a little grayish here. It's gray action. Draw Greenland? Greenland. I can draw Greenland watching Iceland sort of run away from the volcano. Shade of gray. Add it over here. I don't think there should be that much brown on the mountain. Like streaks. Oh, are you guys? Do you guys hear the computer error, like when I'm hitting a key that I shouldn't be? Let's see. This looks okay. Zoom out, what does it look like? It looks pretty good. I just need to make some smoke coming out of it. Heard sirens earlier? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I live on a busy street, so you're gonna hear stuff like that. All right, let's draw some smoke. Add a few more layers. Right, let's make it look more voluminous and three-dimensional. Okay. Another layer. Smoke 3. That looks kind of weird though in the center. What happens if I merge these? Okay. Whoa. Give Iceland a Ushanka. I don't know what that is. It's better not having many people watching on like 4,500 or 4.8K people. That way the creator can read comments. Yeah. The most people I've ever had watching a stream was about 100. And even when it gets to that point, if a lot of people are engaged, it gets hard to follow. But it's pretty cool able to keep up with what you guys are typing in chat. Oh, rephrasing your last question. Do you have the ability to draw other things besides pole and ball, such as people, animals, etc., with high proficiency? People? No. Some animals, yeah, but in a very cartoony style. I can show you another comic that I drew that has kangaroos in it. Here it is. This is one of my favorite comics that I've made. Here's an Australia featuring one of my comics. So those are the kangaroos. I don't like drawing people. It's difficult. I'm a totally self-taught artist. All the art that I've drawn has basically been pole and ball stuff. So I think this looks okay. Fill this in here. Looks pretty good. Okay. The Ushanka is a stereotyped Russian and Soviet hat for winter. Oh, okay, yeah, I've drawn that in a few comics then. It's a woolly hat with ear flaps. Yep. Draw Palestine and Russia? Maybe another time. What do I use to make my comics? I draw everything in Photoshop. I have used Paint before, but I think Paint is a very limited program. So there's a lot of like little tools in Photoshop that you can use that makes it easier. You know, just layering alone is a huge time saver. Let's fill this in. On the YouTube channel, we have a couple of different live streams and comic drawing videos. Aaron has put out a bunch of comic drawing videos, 5 or 6 of them, and he draws exclusively in MS Paint. He's an MS Paint aficionado. If you're interested in how he draws, go ahead and take a look at his videos. Gaitner did a live stream last night. I think he used this Photoshop. At least that's what it looked like, but it looks like he has a newer version of Photoshop than I do. I just haven't kept up with it. Okay. And then I think we're going to close this out with Greenland. Let's move these guys over. Just make a little bit more space for everything. Whoops, I can't do that. Actually, that doesn't really need to move. Well, no, it probably should, just so it's not that close to Brazil. The hell, why can't I, There we go. Okay. Use Ibis Paint. You said it. Yeah, I need to look that up. I should just say I left the oven on. That's great. I love that. What's like an Icelandic curse? Does anyone know? Like the equivalent of kurva for Iceland. Let's make the text a little bit smaller. Like it's 18 point. Bork. Yeah, kudos to Gestaltel. That was that's a great line. Helviti is an Icelandic curse word. What does that mean? It's also a high quality Icelandic vodka. Apparently. All right, let me get the Greenlandic flag. Is that how you would say it? Flag of Greenland. Make sure I get the right color. Let's put them up over here somewhere. Those are good eyes. Yeah. Greenlandic flag is awesome. How am I going to draw this? There's a circle, red circle over here. Fill it in. Oops. Cut it in half. Let's see. It's a different color, so I can cut it in half more easily. Green for Greenland. Whoops. Okay, good. Merge this. This becomes white. This becomes red. Look at that. Beautiful. Add the eyes. Greenland. Let's do some shading. Eyeball in this. That's not right. Should sort of just be flying up there though, you know? It doesn't really make sense for him to be having a shadow up here and then Iceland down here having a shadow. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like though. That looks okay. Serbia eye patch thing for the circle. That's not historically what people have done for Greenland. And a lot of people actually don't use it for a lot of the Balkan states either, even though I want to say early on, canonically, that's sort of what you were supposed to do with, if you're drawing Serbia or Croatia or Slovenia or Slovakia or something, you would use the seal as an eye patch. But I've never seen anyone do it with Greenland. Can I please draw Malta now? Yeah, I can draw Malta. Let me download the flag. I'm going to give Malta sunglasses. Flag of Malta. Whoops. We'll put Malta dead center, roughly. Can I draw Estonia? Yeah, I'll do Estonia. Malta and Estonia. We'll put them... I'm going to put them both in the center. Then maybe we have room for something in the bottom right. Estonia's flag is one of my favorites as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's do Malta. Estonia. Those are pretty good balls. Maltese balls and Estonian balls. Okay, we're gonna do sunglasses for both of them. Let's do the flag first. Just layer 1. I can delete that. This is going to be a little bit tricky to draw the... Is it red on the outline? Yeah, it's... okay. Clean it up a little bit. Let's see. It's kind of not perfect. I think that's good. Well, I'm not going to draw all that, so I'll just give it a... Is that black? It looks like it's black. There's a little horsey in it. I don't know. Yeah, you can't tell like what it is at this. When it's zoomed all the way out. Looks kind of weird, but I did it at such a small scale that it's I don't think it's a big deal. Malta should cheer Estonia up by calling it Nordic. Yeah. You'll always be Nordic to me. The eye patch thing is more optional than other Palm Ultras. That's true, but I'm talking like really early on, you know, before the subreddit was even like whoops, before it was like the de facto place to go for Poland Ball. Like the earliest Kraut-chan and 4chan comics were they had there were a lot of comics that included Serbia, and Serbia had an eye patch in almost all of them. Let's do a grayish instead of a black. All right. Estonia. Great flag. Let me find a comic that I have with Estonia. I've made a good number of comics with Estonia in it. Here we go. This is a classic. This was an existing template. This was one of like the earliest Poland ball comics I made. You can see it's like it's breaking rules. That's not actually the Estonian flag. That's a proposed Nordic cross version of the Estonian flag in the third panel. But it is the right colors here. There's another Estonia comic. An April 1st joke. So this is from almost 11 years ago. That's crazy. Estonian city flags. I'll have to look those up. All right, let's do. I'm gonna do an off, like a lighter, or like a really dark gray instead of black for the center band. It's the same thing I do with Germany. Maybe even lighter than that. Just so that when you do the outline of the eyes, they don't blend in with the actual black of the flag itself. I'll change that to be a little bit darker. Wow. Yeah, the eyes are going to blend in. 'Cause it's pretty close to black. Let's do this. Oh, okay. No, we're doing sunglasses, right? Are those going to be able to show up? We'll do Malta first. Let's do green so I can see where they are. So what does that look like? That doesn't look half bad. Yeah, the comic was an April Fool's joke of Estonia becoming Nordic. That was one of the, Poland Ball, like many other sort of meme subreddits, goes through like phases where there's a lot of similar comics on a similar topic. Estonia could not into Nordic was a very common one early on. It's been done to death now, but yeah. It's like Depression Month. There was, oh god, it was again also over a decade ago. But for whatever reason, a lot of artists just started making these super depressing comics all around the same time, and that actually inspired the Depression Month contests. Oops. Convergent evolution. All right. I don't know how the sunglasses are going to show up on Estonia. I might have to figure out how to do it in a different way. You could like give them pink sunglasses or something. Wait, why did I fill those in? That was dumb. These are big sunglasses. This is too big on the left side. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be really hard to show up, or get to show up. It's too offset as well. The two lenses are a little bit. This one needs to come down a little lower. Well, I mean, there's silver sunglasses out there. Yeah, I'm gonna post this on the pole and ball community subreddit because it's not actually a comic. It's just it was a blank canvas that, with community input, became just a hodgepodge of different things. The gray does look cool, actually. Yeah, I agree. Let's do something like this. All right, I like that. Those sunglasses are actually pretty cool. Maybe a little bit too big. I think Malta's came out really well. Finland, Estonia, and Malta. Yeah, I'm glad I could add all of them. Thanks for the suggestions. I've always thought that the relationship that Finland and Estonia have in pole and ball was super cute. I like the comics where they get explored in that relationship. Should give SD a beanie. He's in the Mediterranean. He doesn't need it. It's warm. All right, we've got room on the bottom right for one last thing. Any suggestions? Germany scolds the EU. I support the Philippines. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Germany scolding the EU. We've got a lot of European countries here. Well, actually, no. We've got a pretty diverse set of countries here. We have India and Sri Lanka in South Asia, right? We've got Greenland and Canada, North America. We have Brazil from South America. The Koreas from East Asia. And then Northern Europe and the Mediterranean. We're missing Africa and I guess like Australia. Panama and Colombia. Should make Latvia surrounded by potatoes. Spider-Man meme about Indonesia and Monaco. The problem the problem with doing that is it's hard to indicate when countries are pointing at each other without using the handy pole, which I don't really want to use. I do need to add shading to Malta and Estonia. Let's do that real quick. Yeah, Malta came out really well. I really like those sunglasses. It's going to be hard to do Estonia with... I'm going to have to go around sunglasses. Oops. $35. That looks good. I feel like Eritrea has never been in a Poland Ball comic. Or Eritrea, sorry. I'm going to blow your mind with one of my, I think, best comics. Ooh, hold on. Serbia, Venezuela, and Eritrea walk into a bar. They are politely asked to leave because nobody likes them. This was super fun to draw. This was for a contest where I think it was for Lesser Known September, where you were assigned a trio of countries that don't feature in many comics, and you had to make a comic about them. So this was my, I thought, very clever workaround. It was basically saying, like, you know, these countries don't feature in comics because no one likes them. No one can relate to them. There aren't many users from these countries in Poland Ball. I don't mean no one likes them. I mean they don't get featured prominently in Poland Ball comics because, again, we don't have many users from these countries. Serbia probably features the most of these three, but yeah, Eritrea is almost never in any comics. There's a decent amount of comics that have Venezuela in them, but I also don't know too much about these countries, Eritrea especially. So this was I thought, a clever way of making a comic about them that wasn't about them, you know? And then drawing this knife was pretty fun. I thought it turned out well. All right. Last thing I'm going to draw before I sign out. We can fit one thing in the bottom right corner. Djibouti with military bases. That's a lot. I want to draw something simple. Singapore and Malaysia. We have all except Oceania and Africa. Congo selling oil. We make a country ball comic tournament where the community makes a country ball comic and the best comic is a winner. That's not a bad idea, actually. Germany rewards EU with cookies. And they do that every year. Well, not every 7 years when they pay into the budget. Bhutan chilling. Bhutan is hard to draw. Let's see. I have a long list of comic ideas in a Word document. I'm going to pull it up and see if there's something I can add in here. Ivory Coast and Ireland. Oh, I had that in the comic I showed you guys. Ethiopia trying into ocean. Is Ethiopia the Bolivia of Africa? So close to the sea, but not quite. The old Iraqi flag. Ethiopia fighting with Eritrea for access to the ocean. Green and black Iraqi flag. Switzerland just chilling and being neutral. We went over this in one of the Poland Ball podcasts on this channel. We talked about the concept of neutrality to begin with. Neutrality is bullshit, and the Swiss are not neutral. China cannot enter Taiwan. Let's add China. There should be, China should be in this. Let's just have China in the corner looking up. Yeah, ask, is Taiwan here or something? Or, where is island China? Alright, PRC. You get the right colors. Yeah, I don't. I'm not really a YouTuber, but I guess I am now. This is the most I've ever done on YouTube. I've made a few videos over the years. I used to stream video games, but I really like this. Whoa. I've been really liking streaming comic drawing. It's fun. Wanted to do stars. Okay. And then the flag, or the stars on the Chinese flag, are angled at different angles, which is annoying to draw, so I'm probably not going to do that. Although I should. I like the Chinese flag. It's one of those that's instantly recognizable. The only problem with it, I guess it's not really a problem anymore, but the Soviet flag and the PRC flag were very similar. So it's kind of confusing to people who are not like big flag people, you know. Another eye. The eyes don't really look that good. Yeah, I do like when China and India in particular show up in comics where they're just like overbearingly large. I always think it's funny when there's such a huge difference in the physical size of characters in comics, but it doesn't make sense for most comics. Do something like this and then move the stars up. There, I think that's better. Move the stars up more, past the eyes. All right. I think this is the final product. This was fun to draw. Thank all of you guys for joining. I'm going to do a lot more live streams because the interactive part on my end makes it a little bit easier for me to sit down and draw for a long time. But I do need to draw some actual comics. But this was fun. I'm going to post this on the Pole and Ball community subreddit. Again, you're all here watching, so you know what our YouTube channel is. Feel free to look at all of the videos we've put out. We've had a lot of fun making all these different kinds of videos. We've got a Pole and Ball news video coming out, I think, either tomorrow or the day after that, and a couple of other things planned for the near future. So, again, please like and subscribe. Tune in whenever we're doing more live streams. I'm personally going to do some more. This was really fun, and thank you guys again. It was great. Have a great night or morning or afternoon.